everybody, today I'm going to be reviewing the Lombard overbust corset made by Stormy Leather San Francisco. So here is the front, the side, the back, and the other side. The center front of this corset is 15 inches high, and from about the peak of the bust here, right next to the shoulder strap here, down to the bottom is about 16 inches high. In terms of the silhouette, I would say that it's a gentle hourglass silhouette. It is very, very narrow throughout the rib cage and the bust here actually though. For the circumferential measurements, this is a size 22 closed waist. The underbust measurement is about 26 inches. The full bust measurement is about 28 inches, which is why I couldn't even get the Modesty panel to cover the gap in the back, because this is very, very small in the bust. And also in the high hip area is about 32 inches. The neckline of this overbust is actually higher than some of the overbusts I had reviewed in the past. It gives an insane amount of support. Actually, I've never had a mammogram before, but I imagine this feels somewhat similar. But I do wish that this corset were cut for more curves in the rib cage and in the bust area, because it's simply not the right size for me. Now this corset does have shoulder straps. You cannot remove the shoulder straps, but you can adjust them using these little buckles here. So you can make them tighter or looser to your comfort. And I find that it gets caught in my hair, but if you have shorter hair than I do, that's probably not a problem for you. So here is the Stormy Leather Lombard corset lying flat. For the materials of this, it is just a single layer of leather in here. So you can see that it's unlined here. This is the natural leather, and this is the patent leather right here. So the natural leather, they say that it is supposed to stretch over time. So it would probably stretch like a couple of inches at least if you were to wear this regularly, but I have no intention on wearing this regularly. This is what the Stormy Leather tag looks like, and you can see handmade in USA, and it also has the cleaning instructions and the materials. So turning the corset to the side, you can see the pattern here. So it's a 5-panel pattern, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can see that a lot of the curve of the hip is over panels 3 and 4 here. The center front here tapers down towards the bottom, gives a very flat front, almost reminiscent of 18th century stays here. And for the construction of this corset, it's just a single layer, so there's nothing to flatline in it. The panels were simply assembled together with the seam allowances to the inside. You can see that the single boning channels are laid down on the inside. So this boning channel is straddling the seam there, so it has one stitch on each side of the panel, which further strengthens that seam, and it simultaneously covers the raw seam allowances on the inside. And turning to the inside here, you can see that there's no waist tape on the inside of this corset, so that combined with the lack of any sort of cotton strength fabric is probably what contributes to the eventual expected stretching of this corset. Here's a close-up of the binding, and it's made from matching strips of black leather. It's machine stitched on the outside and also on the inside here. You can see on the inside where it has simply been stitched down, and then the raw edge has been cut close. That's very typical of leather binding, so I don't mind that. It's not going to fray because you know, fraying is not a real property of leather. And you can see here in the center front how the edges were also treated. So this was not folded over at the edge here. It was simply just sewn down and then cut very close to the edge of the busk there. Now that is something different. I'm not used to seeing that. The Modesty panel in the back is 4.5 inches wide, so I would say probably about 3.5 inches of usable space. It's a piece of leather that's been doubled over, and it is actually continuously boned here with metal bones. So the Modesty panel is actually very sturdy. It is stitched down, secured on one side of the corset here, so if you don't like the Modesty panel, you can remove it. However, remember that leather is not a self-healing fabric, so if you are to remove this Modesty panel, there is a risk that the leather would be perforated. Additionally, there is a Modesty placket on the knob side of the busk here. It's unstiffened. It's just a single layer that has been carefully cut, finished in patent leather to match the center front panel here. The busk in this corset is 14 inches long, and it is a standard flexible busk, so half an inch wide on each side. It has a total of 7 loops and pins, and they are equidistantly spaced. Now, while we're here, I'll talk about these eyelets running down the center front here. So they are single part eyelets. You can see that they're sort of splayed on the back here. They are functional in the sense that you can, put a ribbon through it and lace it up. I just didn't model it that way because it would have taken just way too much time. You can also see that the shoulder straps are adjustable. They're not completely removable, but they are adjustable with these buckles in the back. So each strap has 4 eyelets here, and the buckle has a roller that keeps the leather nice and prevents it from getting abrasions and whatnot. There are a total of 10 bones in this corset, not including the center front busk and not including all the bones in this Modesty panel here. They are all steel boned, so it does attract the magnet here. They are ½ inch wide, I believe, flat steel bones because they feel quite sturdy. Now on the back here, it's actually not sandwiched by 2 different bones on either side of the grommets. It's actually just a single ½ inch wide flat steel bone on the outer edge. Because the leather is a little bit stiffer, I did not notice that there was a whole lot of like wrinkling or buckling of this back panel here. However, if you were to get the silk, I am not at all sure how it would react to lacing up tightly. And here's a close-up of the grommets in the back. There are a total of 26 of them. I believe they're size 00 with a medium flange around them. They're finished in silver. They are 2-part grommets, so they're not like the eyelets that are shown in the front of the corset or on the shoulder straps. So these ones do have a washer. You can see that they're equidistantly spaced about 1 inch apart. Here you can see the back of them, so nice large washer. All of them seem to have rolled very nicely. None of them seem to be coming out at all. There's not a lot of wear. The leather is holding up around them as well, so I don't have any complaints about the grommets. The laces that are currently in this corset I had purchased separately. This is the type of cord that was originally in the corset, so about 1/8 inch wide round nylon cord. I found it very slippery, very hard to lace up, and it didn't hold the bow very well, and it was just a little on the short side. It was quite frustrating to use, so I just switched it out. It's an easy replacement. The Lombard overbust corset starts at $380 if you would like it finished in silk or satin, but if you want it finished in leather like this one, it starts at $410. So that's all for my review of the Lombard overbust corset made by Stormy Leather based in San Francisco. I hope you enjoyed it and you learned something new. If you did, please remember to click that like button, help support the channel. If you have any comments or questions about this corset, feel free to leave a comment down below, and I'll see you after the weekend for another video. Bye!